Welcome to the Senior Solutions Agency Friday call. My name is Joe Johnson. I'm going to be your host today. Got a great show lined up for you today. I appreciate everybody who's on the call from the East Coast, from the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, all the way out to California and everywhere in between. We certainly do appreciate everybody that hops on the call. You know, we put a lot of effort into making sure that we're bringing you great content. In fact, one of the reasons why I wanted to do today's call on the prime term product is because actually this week I helped put, with a couple of agents, help put a few deals together. And I know we've mentioned this product before, but I don't think we've ever really done like a full in-depth training, product training on this specific product. So that's the reason why we're doing it today. So I think I kind of let the cat out of the bag. Again, today's topic is going to be Prosperity Life. You're probably already familiar with they have the traditional final expense product, which they refer to as their new Vista. What you may not be aware of is they have a secondary product. It's a final expense product that they call their Prime Term to 100. And it's not guaranteed issue, but it's almost guaranteed issue. There's only two health questions on there they're kind of lengthy. But so the purpose of today's call is that I'm going to go into the training and talk to you about the product. But in addition to that, I'm also going to go into how you submit the product, the options of either doing a paper application or there's an e-application process with a voice signature. But before we get into the call, as you know, every single week we do our motivational quote of the week. And here's the one for this week. As you can see my screen, let me just make sure everyone is seeing my screen, showing screen. Okay, we are good to go. And the quote is, scared money don't make money. Now, what I found out was these are actually lyrics to a rap song, which I didn't know. But anyway, so I think that's pretty cool as well. But scared money don't make money. I just want to tell you why we're talking about this today and why I think it's kind of appropriate, as far as what we do and what that saying kind of means to me about scared money don't make money. Because I think for most of us, for all humans, I think it's human nature that we have something that we're born with that protects us. And if we have money, if you're able to save a little bit of money, you want that money to be protected. You don't want to lose that money. And kind of the thought process behind scared money don't make money is that if you're living that way as a self-employed business owner, that if you have that mentality that you have scared money, meaning is that you have a little bit of money saved away, but you don't want to invest it, you don't want to spend it. And when I say spend it, I'm really talking about investing it. As business owners, we really can't have that mentality. We got to have the mentality in order for our money to work, is that we need to put it out there. Investing in ourselves, investing in education, getting better, going to seminars, reading books, having a subscription to Audible so you can always have positive and motivational things going into your head. As business owners, if you're sitting on money and you're scared to invest it in marketing and advertising, it's going to be very hard to get your business off the ground. In fact, for those people that don't want to invest, they don't want to work on improving themselves and getting better every single day, they don't want to reinvest back into their business, those are the ones that are typically going to fail out of the business. Those people are probably more well suited to go get a job where they can save money. In fact, I want to get into the call, but it just reminds me, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a really funny, I think it's a funny commercial on TV, and it's about Ameritrade. And it starts out with this little girl, she's probably 8, 9 years old, and she has this dream of going and climbing Mount Everest, and she has this big jar, and every time she has a little bit of loose money, she puts it into the jar, and then eventually when she's like 70 or 80 years old and she's on a walker, she makes it to Mount Everest, but obviously she's too old to be able to climb the mountain. So the key is like, you should have invested. Had she invested all that spare change, it could have grown into something bigger. So you can't be afraid of investing. And the two biggest things about scared money, two biggest things is as business owners that we should be investing in is, one, investing money in our own personal development and personal growth, and investing back into our business with leads, marketing, and advertising. So anyway, that's enough about scared money don't make money, but I thought that was kind of funny. All right, let's get into the product training. Final expense product training, prime term to 100. So first off, if you're not familiar with Prosperity, it's a great company. It's one of I just did a video not recently about our top 5, I think it was our top 5 companies for 2022. Prosperity was very high on the list. Definitely a company that you should consider getting contracted with. One thing I like about them is that when you log into their agent portal, that it's a very easy, very streamlined agent portal. It's not real confusing. It's very easy to navigate. This is basically kind of a snapshot of what it looks like. Moving on into the product. All right, prime term 100. Let's talk about what the product is. First of all, technically it is a term insurance, but there are some nuances with it. Age term 100 is a simplified issue. It is a graded product. It has a 3-year graded product. It is, however, renewable until age 100. So this product will stay in place until the client is 100 years old. At the end of the 20-year term, because it's a 20-year term, the premiums actually stay level, but then the face amount slowly decreases gradually until they return, or until they get to age 100. The policy's been designed for who? It's designed for customers who are in less than perfect health, and have a life expectancy of at least a few years. Okay. And this is where I think this is a great kind of a niche product in between, if they're not healthy enough to qualify for a regular final expense, and maybe you would be considering going guaranteed issue. This is where I really think this really fits in. Benefits for the insured. Number one, it's affordable protection to age 100. The premiums are guaranteed never to increase. It's a simple application process. There's no medical exam, and there's only 3 health questions. Technically, there's really only 2 health questions. Why sell prime term? Okay, here's some reasons they listed. One is that there's no smoker rate, there's no tobacco rating, so it's only either based on their gender and their age. There is an accidental death benefit rider that's available that typically is not available on guaranteed issue products. Also, you get an instant decision. It is an underwritten product, so it's not guaranteed issue. So it does need to go through a little bit of underwriting. But in most cases, you're going to get an instant decision. It's also available with Prosperity. If you're familiar with Prosperity, you probably already know this. Social Security billing is available. So they can get this coordinated if they get their Social Security on the first, third, or one of the Wednesdays of the month. You can get that coordinated with True. I should point this out. It's True Social Security billing. And there are multiple options as far as billing, and they also accept the Direct Express card, okay, which is big. Okay, now I've listed some other reasons that weren't on their training that from an agent standpoint, that I want you to know about. Why to sell this product, maybe over a guaranteed issue product. One, chargebacks. With the prime term 100, it's 100% chargeback for death, but only in the first 4 months. So if you sell this product and 2 months later, your client passes away, they have a heart attack and they die, you're going to have to pay back your whole commission, okay, for the first 4 months. As long as they make it for the first 4 months After that, it's prorated just like any other policy. So your client can be in the policy for 6 months, and if they die of a heart attack, stroke, cancer, whatever, you get to keep whatever commission you were paid, and the only thing you would have to be paid back is the advance commission, the part that you hadn't earned yet. So that's huge. With most guaranteed issue companies, most of them are 100% chargeback for the first year, and then even in year 2, if they die in the first 2 years, you typically have to pay back at least 50% of your commission. So that's another benefit. The other thing with this product is that it pays a 9-month advance. And again, with most of our guaranteed issue companies, you're not getting an advanced commission in most cases. So here you're getting the regular 9-month commission. It also pays full renewals. So actually on this product, if you look at the commission schedule, this product, the renewals on this are actually higher than what the New Vista product is. So that's pretty cool. It pays full renewals, competitive rates compared to guaranteed issue, and I'll give you some examples of what the rates are, but the rates are very good. Also, as far as commission, with this product, from an agent standpoint, you take a very small hit in commission. I think in most cases it's maybe around 10, maybe 15%. It does vary depending on what your commission level is, but unlike a guaranteed issue product, where in most cases we're taking a 50% hit, because most guaranteed issue, typically you're somewhere between 50 to 60%. With this one, let's say if you're at 100% commission on guaranteed issue, you're probably going to get paid 90% on this product, plus you're going to get a full advance. Okay, so that's another great reason to be selling this product if they can qualify versus guaranteed issue. The other thing too is that it's very easy to sell over the phone, which I'll get into. They have an easy application process where you can do an e-application with a voice signature. Those are just some additional reasons why this would be a good product to have in your portfolio if you don't have it already. All right, prime term to 100. Issue ages, they go all the way down to age 40, all the way up to age 80, okay? The accidental rider, they have to be between the ages of 40 and 74 to qualify for the accidental rider, and the policy expires at age 100. So once they're locked in, again, the policy is good until age 100, and the premiums, even though it's technically a term policy, the premiums are never going to increase even after the first initial 20 years. The one thing that's kind of negative about this is that the accidental death benefit, it expires at age 75. So, if someone's, if they're 73 years old, you sell them the accidental, they're only going to have it for a couple of years, then it goes away. Obviously, the premiums will go down a little bit, but I wish their accidental part went out longer. Face amount, you can go as low as $5,000 up to $30,000. Rate class, again, very simple. There's no tobacco rating. It's either male or female. That's it. And of course their age. Premiums are based on issue age, gender only, and are fixed through the life of the contract. And like a final expense, this actually builds cash value as well. So it's more like a whole life policy than it is a term policy, because it actually builds cash value. Recurring premiums, I think I already mentioned this. There is a direct bill option, which we don't do a lot of. EFT or debit card. So they can use any debit card, or they can use their Social Security Direct Express. But keep in mind, advanced commissions are only for EFT. So if they are going to use a debit card, let's say they have their Social Security go to a debit card, or they want to use the Direct Express, you're going to get paid as earned on those policies. Let's see, no policy fee, which is great. Underwriting, I think we talked about this. It's an accept, reject type policy. Only 3 knockout questions. They're going to do an MIB and prescription history. Also, there's no height and weight chart on this, so they can be, extremely plump, and you don't have to worry about height and weight. Aptical underwriting. I'll talk about the phone interview in a little bit. Oh, here's another benefit selling this over guaranteed issue: accelerated death benefit. So with this policy, once they get through the first 3 years of the graded part, there is an accelerated death benefit for terminal illness, which of course, guaranteed issue does not have. And of course, we already talked about there is an optional accidental death benefit rider as well. Just a real quick note, if you are, obviously this is a live webinar, a live training, but we are getting this recorded. We're getting it out onto our YouTube channel. If you happen to be watching this right now on YouTube and you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to the channel. We put out very new content every single week. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash the thumbs up, give us a thumbs up on the video. And if you're interested in contracting opportunities with Senior Solutions, or particularly maybe this product, my phone number, shoot me a text over and we will have a communication. We'll get you contracted for the product. All right, moving on. The health questions. All right, Joe, what are the health questions? Well, like I said, there's only 3 health questions. The first one, and by the way, with these health questions, there's a 2-year look back, okay? The first one goes into whether or not your client in the last 2 years has been in hospice. Did they have to go to a nursing home, extended care, special treatment facility? If that's the case, within the last 2 years, they're not going to be eligible. But let's say, they got really sick and they had to go into, rehab or some type of nursing home for, a while back. As long as it was over 2 years ago, you're okay. You can answer no to that question. If they require oxygen, not going to qualify for this. If they need ongoing personal assistance, in other words, if they can't perform the activities of daily living, like what they call eating, bathing, dressing, toiletries, transferring, walking, or continence, they're not going to qualify for the product. Within the past 2 years, if they've been treated by a member of the medical profession for cancer. So there's a 2-year look back on cancer, heart attack, stroke, any type of heart issues, cardiomyopathy, congestive heart failure, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, or have undergone any major organ transplant. Any of those things in the last 2 years, not going to qualify. You may need to look at a different carrier. You may need to go guaranteed issue. And the last question was simply just asking, have you been advised by a licensed medical professional that you have a life expectancy less than 24 months, which if they do, it's debatable whether you should write them up, even guaranteed issue or not. So those are the only health questions. What you'll notice is on here, because I had an agent the other day ask me, hey, dude, I got this guy who has HIV positive. What can I do? They were 45 years old. We went with this. So instead of going guaranteed issue, we were actually able to get that client qualified because there's no HIV question on this, and they didn't have a life expectancy of less than 24 months. So even HIV, again, you don't necessarily have to go guaranteed issue. Here's another example of one that we did. I just want to give you an example of what you can get done. This is a client that was older. This is a male, age 72, and this is a real life case that I help an agent put together. They were thinking they'd probably have to go guaranteed issue. But as you can see here on the right, this is, by the way, if you're not familiar with the screen I'm showing, this is FEX Toolkit. This is the underwriting quoting software that we offer. Client had COPD, okay, with using inhalers and a nebulizer, but no oxygen. Used a wheelchair, wasn't permanently confined, but because of their weight and some arthritis issues, they did use a wheelchair. They had AFib, so had this funky irregular heartbeat, diabetes with complications. I think they even had like their big toe amputated a few years ago. had chronic hepatitis C, had a stroke 2 years ago, and was on blood thinners, Eliquis, which is a blood thinner that they were taking for, I think it was for the heart arrhythmia. Also, they were 5'8" and 400 pounds, so pretty heavy. Click get quote, and to our surprise, number one was Prosperity, prime term to 100. So age 72 male for $10,000, the premiums were $113 a month. Actually, which I was surprised is, cheaper than Gerber, cheaper than the GTL, which is a great product, cheaper than AIG, and a lot cheaper than Great Western. So they actually came in, Prosperity for this particular scenario actually came in number one. So the great thing about this, it's going to be number one for the client. It's going to provide them the best product because they're going to have level face amount. So they're 72. They're going to have level coverage, level face amount until they're 92 years old. With all these health issues, this person ain't making it to 92 years old. Okay, even if they do, only then does the face amount start decreasing a little bit. So that's that. So we were obviously able to put that deal together. All right, this is how the graded death benefit works. When the client takes a policy out in the first policy year, okay, if they do pass away, the family's going to get 100% of premiums plus 15% interest. With your normal guaranteed issue, it's typically only 10% interest. In year two, they're going to get, depending on their age, they're either going to get 30% of the face amount or 40% of the face amount. Year three, they're going to get either 60 or 70%, again, depending on their age. The older they are, the higher percentage they're going to get. So once they've been into the product for 3 years, 36 months, going into year four, it's the full face amount. And it's going to be full face amount through year four all the way to the 20th year. And then in year 21 of the policy, again, the premiums are going to stay the same, but the face amount is going to start decreasing. And that's how, instead of raising, with most term products, if it's a 20-year term, they can keep it, but the premiums go real high. This one, to make sure they can keep the policy, the premiums stay level, and they're just reducing the face amount a little bit. Okay, in fact, here's the schedule. Age 65, this is someone, that is in poor health. You can see at age 65, this would be return of premiums. Then the face amount goes up. After year 3, it's the full face amount. So until age 85, they have $20,000 worth of coverage. And then from age 86 to age 100, you can see incrementally the face amount starts decreasing. Okay. Okay, application process. Okay, so that's everything pretty much you honestly need to know about the product. Okay, definitely one I would recommend to get into your portfolio. As far as writing the application, with this particular product, you can either do a paper application or you can do the e-application with voice signature, and this can be sold over the phone. So as you can see, there are 2 ways in which the application can be taken. Provide with the opportunity to receive an underwriting decision at point of sale either through the telephone interview with the vendor aptical. So face-to-face sales or the live app portal telesales option. All right, paper application. Let me go through that first. This is obviously, you got to be face-to-face with the client. You're going to do it just like any other paper application. You're going to fill out the paperwork, collect all the information, the billing information, ACH, get the whole thing closed up. Then all you're going to do is call in this 800 number to Aptical, and they're going to complete the phone interview process. They're going to validate you, the agent. You need to tell them who you are, what you're applying for. Probably going to ask you for your agent ID number, so make sure you have that. Then you're going to turn the phone over to the client, and the client is going to go through the validation. So they're going to validate the client. They're going to go over the payment information, and they're going to ask the 3 medical questions, and then they're going to pull the MIB and the prescription history, and they're going to give you a decision right there on the spot. Okay. The big thing with Aptical, the big thing is that before you make the call, it's important to kind of coach your client to, when I say coach, manage their expectations so they know exactly what's going to happen. Okay. The other thing too, is part of the underwriting decision is, and this you got to be careful on, is that the client needs to be able to complete the interview process on their own. So you can't be in the background like coaching them or telling them what to say, because if the interviewer hears you doing that, coaching your client on the call, they're going to end the call and say, hey, your client obviously can't do the phone call by themselves. They're going to end the call. They're not going to qualify. Okay. So just make sure that your client is prepared and they know exactly the questions that are going to be asked on the call. Let's see, what else is there on this? Okay, here's the other thing that's important that has happened. Doesn't happen very often, but you just need to be aware of this. After you do if you're doing a paper application, it's important that you submit every application, regardless whether or not the client actually takes the policy or not. We've had a few situations where the agent took the application and the client was declined, or they were approved, but then the client says, you know what, I really don't want it, and the agent never submitted the application. Because of the requirements and the HIPAA regulations, if you do this phone interview and you take the application, you are required to submit the application to Prosperity, regardless of what the outcome is. And if you don't, they'll cancel your contract if you don't submit the application, because you're going against their rules. As far as submitting the paper application, you can do it right through the agent portal. There's an email address that you can submit it, or you can also fax it in as well. All right, so that's pretty much everything you need to know about the paper application. I think it's a pretty easy system to use. All right, now I know this says on the screen, it says telesales with voice signature. This is really, it was geared for telesales, but if you're out in the field and you don't want to do a paper application, you can do the telesales process even if you're face-to-face with the client, okay? Now, just as a side note, on the new Vista, which is their traditional final expense product, you can either do a paper application, you can do a true e-app, and on the e-application, there's no phone interview. You just do the e-application. If you're face-to-face, you do that, you're with the client signs it on your computer, you submit it, you get an approval, and it's done, okay? Or you can do this voice signature. With the prime term to 100, that option's not available yet. I think they're working on it, but I think part of it is because this is geared towards people that are in compromised health, is that they really want those clients to be able to complete the phone interview process. So, okay, so if you're selling over the phone or if you're face-to-face, all you need to do is, after you've closed them on the premiums, is log into the agent portal, click on where it says application. If you're using FEX Toolkit, it's automatically going to take you to the portal, but this is how you would do it. Click right here where it says applications. I'm going to walk you through what it's going to say. You want to click on the green button here to the right where the arrow is. It says new application. It's going to take you to your live app, to the Aptical login. You want to log in, so you're going to need to create ahead of time. You're going to need to create your ID and password specifically for Aptical. Okay. Once you're in, to Aptical, you want to go up to the top left-hand corner, right here where the arrow is, and click on Applications. Then you're going to get a little bit of a drop down. You want to click on New Application. This is basically following instructions. Once you get there, you're going to put in the product. So it's Prosperity Life. It's the prime term to age 100. You're doing the only option is to do the voice signature. Pick your state and your language. Then you're going to do the rate calculator. You're going to put in all the information. You're going to put in their date of birth, it's going to populate their age, their gender, whether they smoke or not. You select it even though it really doesn't matter. The monthly, whether you're doing the accidental death benefit, the face, here we're doing a $10,000 benefit. It's going to calculate the monthly premium. And then you're just going to click save. You're going to move on. And then it just goes in, it's just the application. And you're basically just doing answering all the questions. Typically, in most cases, the payor is going to be the insured. Payor must be either the proposed insured or the owner. So you can't have someone else paying for the policy that isn't the owner or the insured. If the payor is someone other than the insured, you need all parties there while you're completing the application. Let's see here. Oh, with this particular one, with doing this voice signature, it looks like you cannot do replacing coverage. So just make sure you're not replacing any coverage. And you're basically, it's just like any other e-app. You're just going through the questions. You need to be able to put in the client's phone number, verification code. Okay, it's going to give you it's going to give you the verification code. You're going to need that when you call into Aptical. So it's going to give you that little ID number. So when you call into Aptical, they're going to ask you for that ID number. So make sure that you keep that when you do it. And the rest is just filling out a regular application, just answering all the questions. These are just screenshots of what you need to do. There is a identity verification. So once you put in your client in, it's going to validate your client and validate their street address. It's real important to make sure that you get the spelling right. If you do a typo and you don't spell their name right, it may not be able to verify. In that case, you may have to, get a copy of their driver's license. Let's see here. Confirming the face amount, you're just going to confirm the face amount, and you just keep clicking next. You're going through answering all the questions. You're going to confirm the owner and the payor. Let's see here. You're going to select the draft date. Typically, we're going to be doing this, setting this up on Social Security billing. So we're going to be doing somewhere between the 1st of the 3rd or one of the Wednesdays. So kind of important here, you want to select the EFT. If you're doing the Direct Express card, make sure you select that. There's something else too. Let me just see here real quick on the billing. No, I think that's it. It's going to prompt you. I don't think I have. Oh, here's where it talks about Social Security billing. They can align the payment dates with their Social Security, so it gets on the same day as their Social Security deposit in the event that that's a non-business day. To select this option, please be ensured to click the box identifying the payment to the link Social Security deposit. Okay, there you go. So that's exactly how you do it. Social Security recipients can select reoccurring draft days such as the 1st or the 3rd, or Wednesday billing, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th Wednesday of every month based on the payor's birth date. So once you put in their birth date and you select Social Security billing, it's going to automatically align that up with their for Social Security billing. And the first draft date can be within 35 days of the application sign date. Acceptable cards, they can do debit card, Visa, MasterCard tied with a bank account, or they can do Direct Express card, which I think they made it really super easy. Here's the part I was looking for. Okay, so if they're doing Social Security billing, this is the part you want to be careful of. You want to select here, okay, so if you want to do a specific day, you can do here, or if you want to do it based on their birth date, that's where you would select here, and that's where it would do on one of the third Wednesdays. I know some people get their Social Security on, the first or the third, which you would select on a specific date, or if one's the Wednesdays, you would do based on payer's date of birth. So I think once you get through and you do the application, it should be pretty self-explanatory. Plus you can kind of go through, they have this training on their website, plus you'll be able to go through this training on this video and just kind of read through everything, make sure that you're doing it right. Like I said, once I think you do it a couple of times, I think you're going to be good. There is they're going to authenticate the bank account. Once you put in the routing number, it's automatically going to populate the bank. You're going to have to put in the account number twice just to validate that. And enter in the beneficiary information. Again, I'm just walking you through the entire application. Click to finish to submit the application. Okay, so once you finish it and you actually submit it, then you're going to call Aptical to complete the telesales. Just make sure that you wrote down that number that it's going to populate on the application. That's what you're going to need to give to the Aptical interviewer so they can match up the voice recording with the actual application. So it says, please have the application ID number ready. So just make sure you have that ready. What to expect during the Aptical interview process. This we've kind of already hit on, but obviously they're going to talk to the agent first and the proposed insured. You need to stay on the line for the entire call. Don't hang up. If there's a separate owner, they have to be there as well. So for some reason, if you're doing, let's say sometimes a husband and wife, but let's say the bank account is in one person's name, it's not a joint account, that's typically when you would want to make someone else the owner so they can also be the payor as well. So Aptical is going to do the validation with your clients. Aptical is going to conduct the customer identity validation check, which we've talked about. Aptical will ask the prospects to ensure if they have received the email disclosure. If not, they're going to play a recording. So there is like the whole HIPAA disclosure. You can either email that to your client, or you can, if you're face-to-face, you can just read it to them. If you don't, no big deal. The Aptical interviewer will actually read them the HIPAA disclosure, so they have it. Aptical will ask the application the medical questions, which again, it's only 3 questions. They're going to run the MIB and the prescription history, and they're going to render an underwriting decision right there on the spot. So what's kind of cool about this product, and what I like about the final expense products that offer a decision, kind of a no before you go, is that worst case scenario, if they get declined for this product, at least you find out why you're there, and you can simply just go do a guaranteed issue product. No big deal. The agent will, and then they will basically, they're going to voice sign the application. So they just agree that their voice signature is the same as a written signature. I'm sure most of you have done this before. Like I said, once you do one of them and you understand the process, you realize how easy it is. What's next? All right, complete the application. It will be electronically sent to the home office for processing the next business day. Just talks about routine audits. Well done. The application is approved. The owner received copies of the completed signed application, so they're going to get mailed that. New business will notify the agent via email if anything further is needed to issue the case. In most cases, I've written a couple of these. They just go through. It's smooth. Very rarely do you ever have to follow up on anything. You will see the policy in your agent portal in about 2 business days, along with any outstanding requirements. Again, you're getting a decision right there on the spot. It's an e-application. Very rarely, if any, will you ever get any type of thing that you need to follow up on. Once it's all done, all you need to do is you can log into your agent portal. You can click onto the application section. This is where you can go in and actually view all the applications. You can see what the decisions are. As you can see, these are how you took the application. This says prime term to age 100, voice signatures. If you wrote a paper application, it'll say paper application. And that's, let me just see what else we have here. Just some other information. All right, guys. And that's really it. Let's see how we're doing as far as time. I mean, we were able to get through this entire training pretty quick. I think we needed to do, like I said, we've talked about this product before. This is the first time we've ever done like a full training on this specific product. Again, we were able to put a couple of cases together throughout the week. I thought it was important that we get this done. We've got this recorded. We're going to get it on our YouTube channel. I'm also going to send this over to the website. So we will get this posted on the website under product training. If you click on prosperity, we will get this added. Let's just see what else we got. Oh, and all these slides, by the way, all these slides I got right off of the Prosperity website under their training tab. So you can go back in and just simply review everything that we're covering and just keep going through it over and over. I don't think this is anything important that we need to cover. So I think this is a good point to go ahead and end the call. Appreciate everybody hopping on. We're going to cut loose a little bit early. It's Friday. I forgot to mention this. It is Super Bowl weekend. So man, enjoy yourself, root for your favorite team or your favorite conference. I hope that they win. I'm kind of rooting for the Rams just because I like Matt Stafford, all those years he spent with 13 years in Detroit. It's a horrible team. So I'm kind of I like both teams, but I'm kind of rooting for him. I'm hoping that he'll be able to get a Super Bowl under his belt. But anyway, if you need anything, please reach out. You've got my phone number. God bless. Have a great weekend and take care. All right. Bye-bye.